With our titanium shortage and even our energetic graphite surplus partly addressed, it's time to begin the automation of basic production facilities as we make the final preparations for our first ever interstellar journey on the channel. Hello Legion, this is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Dyson Sphere Program in our Alpha Andromedae series. So titanium is already arriving from Alpha Andromedae 3, a newly established outpost where we are also, as I just mentioned, exporting energetic graphite to help offset some of our shortage. And one thing that I think we'll be able to do as well, given the just huge amount of hydrogen that I have extra on this planet, I think it's worthwhile to consider offloading some of the hydrogen to another planet so that I can make use of it there as well. So I could use hydrogen for fuel or power on other planets. I can use hydrogen for the production of goods on other planets. Hydrogen goes towards a lot of different things in Dyson Sphere Program, and it doesn't need to just sit here getting backed up constantly and causing problems. So let's see what's going on here. It seems like maybe if this is still emptying, then it's causing a little bit of a backup. So I'm going to flip the whole path again. Managing that has become a little bit troublesome. So I might need to start thinking about how I can make that a little bit less of a pain. Let's see here. We've got a stone mine. Just looking at the paths around it, I can probably just delete that solar panel. And this is a hydrogen line. So why don't we move you just slightly, ironically, as I immediately back up the hydrogen. But one of the things, as I just mentioned, that I really want to focus on this episode primarily is we've talked about automating more of the basic well, not colony buildings. I was going to say colony buildings, but the basic outpost buildings, the basic resource production buildings. And I don't typically do that, but I think it's worthwhile in this case to do that. One of the first things I want to do before that, though, is we have access to satellite substations, and getting these built and getting these automated, actually, will be very, very useful. Also, the frame materials, getting these automated is going to be a priority. So let's go ahead and think about how best to do that. We first of all need to get wireless power transmitters automated, which we already have one of those goods just sitting in storage with nothing, there's nothing happening, and there hasn't been anything happening with these, but we can change that relatively quickly. Let's also take a quick look at our solar sail situation, because we continue to kind of be in a position where this tower will empty out at the nearest opportunity, and then it will fill up briefly while the guns are unable to fire, which they're not able to fire right now, but then it will empty out again. And I would love for there to be just a more continual flow. It's not a huge priority, and I'm not going to tackle it right now, but that is something to keep an eye on because I've noticed it several times over the last several episodes. We are starting to make more progress again because of our titanium influx. So that's really good to see. You can see just the amount of titanium that's being flown even right now to keep these lines full. So we are no longer having trouble keeping research moving. So let's take a look at this. I have a few things I need to do. Let me knock one thing out really quickly because I forgot over the last series of episodes that I was carrying one more orbital collector. So let's fly over to... I'm going to follow that logistics vessel. And here we are. So this final orbital collector should go... Well, that's interesting. Is this too close? Oh, there we go. Yeah. For whatever reason, I didn't notice that line being a somewhat thicker line. All right, perfect. So with orbital collectors, we don't need to set up transportation of any kind. So that's just going to allow for some additional hydrogen and fire ice output. Let's fly back to Alpha Andromedae, and we're going to work on getting satellite power because it's amazing. That was an interesting entry. Probably the most interesting I've done yet. Yeah, it looks like everything that can possibly be upgraded to level 3 assemblers on this particular planet has been upgraded, which is great. Let's take a quick look at proliferator paint. Oh, that's glorious. Look at that. We are completely good So there's probably even more I can do with proliferator paint at this point, given how good that looks. But that's, yet again, something we will focus on a little bit later. So, first things first, wireless power tower. We need to get, ironically, we need to get Tesla towers automated, which requires iron ingots and magnetic coils. Thankfully, some of the resources that we are already producing require those resources. So here's our iron, and then we have our magnetic coils. So it looks like I should be able, if I do a little bit of creative finagling here, pretty soon I can delete a lot of wireless power towers, a lot of these, well, no, Tesla towers, and they won't take up as much space blocking my belts and making things more difficult from a spaghetti perspective. So, what's the most straightforward solution here? I could do something really janky that I haven't done in the series yet, and I'd prefer not to, but I totally could. How much space does a... Let's go ahead and build a few more of these because I need them. How much space does a splitter take up? Wait, hang on. We've got a splitter going here. Let's just follow the lines here, because we don't necessarily have to use that line. We can use another one. We can use this one, in fact. Yeah, we'll do that. So the iron ingots are currently going all the way over here. Okay, that's good. So here's what I'm going to do. Yeah, this makes perfect sense, actually. Let's just... We have this storage here that's currently serving as just the surplus for the most basic kind of cube there is for the electromagnetic matrix. So what we're going to do is bring you right... No, stop! I didn't want to connect... See, I wasn't holding down the shift key. So it automatically built, because I had the mouse right there. It lifted up automatically. So let's hold down shift so that doesn't happen again. Good lord. And now let's lift you up. Perfect. Oh, this is glorious. This is going to work perfectly. Okay. All right, and then we will bring it down. Oh, just kidding. We've got to bring it one more over, and I had a feeling we would have to do that. All right, now let's bring this down. We'll have to do a little bit of moving around of things, but I'm okay with it. So this is what we have here. I see. Let's make a little bit more room, shall we? You know what? We're deleting these for now. They don't have a current purpose, and we can probably find a much better place for them. That was a very temporary kind of need when I put those down, and now it no longer helps me to have them set up like that. Alright, so let's change how we have this particle broadband routed. Let's change it rather dramatically. We're going to hop over that coal. We're going to come all the way down here. I love how many construction bots I have now. Holy crap. It makes me so happy. Happier than you can possibly imagine. And let's go ahead and send the particle broadband that we have down the line. Get rid of that. We still have a number of chips in our inventory, which is nice. Okay, so we can now produce automatically Tesla towers. Okay, and I'm gonna do this properly. We're gonna have storage dedicated to all of these, so that there's availability of these resources as needed. All right. Oh, and apparently I didn't copy paste the recipe. There, that's done. I probably don't need to do more with these lines, so we can delete the excess there. And now, right next to them, let's see. Yeah, I want to keep things kind of tightly packed. In this case, I am going to just put things in a line. Again, there's an argument to be made for staggering your assemblers so that you can have a line, you know, that extends a certain direction, and then you can add more assemblers to that particular good. Whatever you're producing with those assemblers, you can add more so that more is produced, and then you can just send stuff down the line. And because the next good that is pulling from that line, the next set of assemblers is staggered and not in the same row, you have more expansive capability. I'm going to use that more on my outlying planets, but for now, I'll just keep things kind of tightly packed on this planet as I've been building them, sticking to the themes. So, wireless power tower, done. Now what I will need to do, this is going to be a little bit much. Hang on, can I? Yeah, I can. Got some stuff here that doesn't need to be taking up space in my actual inventory. Oh yeah, here we go. I can definitely put some of these up. Excellent. So that's, I think, all I need to worry about for now. Yeah, we're good. So, let's come over here. And we need to get these moved over there. So thankfully, that's going to be pretty easy to do. I could also fly them, so let's just do that. Getting more in that habit. Some people in the comments are rejoicing. All right, so we're going to distribute to other distributors, providing specifically. So what we'll do over here is we will have a couple. Glad I built those splitters. Okay, so we'll have an output line here. Can I get a box on the top of each of you? No, I can't. All right, I'll have to have you a little bit farther apart, which is kind of what I thought, but I wanted to try it. Now, can I go ahead and build a couple of these? I can build one, which is all I need to build at the moment, so I'll take it. I can probably build more if I pull stuff from my logistics slots, but I will cross that bridge when I come to it. Okay, so let's go ahead and hook this guy up. And then we just need... No. These outputting there. And now we have storage for wireless power towers. Excellent. Now if I pull... Using this, let's go ahead and put some robots in there. And we want you to pull... Which resource? Plasma exciters. I want you to request from other distributors. Fantastic. Go get it. So those will be here momentarily. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at that. And could the music have timed the perfection of that? Or had been better timed with the perfection of that? I submit that it could not. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. So now those are being produced. Actually, let's slightly change where these inputs are, because I realized that... Okay, in order to mass produce these, we have to do a little bit more work. We do need supermagnetic rings, which are coming down to in this general direction already, but we are not mass producing frame materials at all, and that's going to be an entirely different question. So, lots to figure out there. I will still go ahead and just build 2 more of these side by side, and then we'll have that. Yeah, see, this is fantastic, because this is going to fill up, and there'll be plenty of these. I doubt that I need that many, so let's go ahead and put a little bit of a cap on each of these, and I'll do the same thing that I have done. I'll let a little bit of a backstock build up here, but the main purpose of this tower, kind of like our steel situation on the opposite side of the base, or opposite side, north-south anyway, is it just needs to import enough for the production line to run. I don't need to have like a full storage of steel, apart from where I already have steel stored. It's just, I don't need it. So, not going to worry about that for now. Oh, this is so exciting. All right, cool. So, because I have this set up like so. By the way, the reason I built that extra spot on the line and then deleted it is so the sorter would be straight. Sometimes when you like just build a line there, the sorter will be slightly crooked and it just doesn't look quite as nice, you know? You know? It's not quite the same. All right, that's one important and good. Where's the next? You're somewhere over here. I know you are. You can't be far. Aha! I found you. Where do you terminate, though? Because you're coming from over here, right? So you... Oh, interesting. You go all the way over there. And then I have that storage there. That's right. Okay. So, in this case... That's interesting. Probably the smartest way to deal with it would just be to put it like a splitter here and have an additional line going elsewhere. Or I could, since they're already being transported... Hang on, let's see. So right now, this is providing and collecting for Icarus, but I could totally just provide to other distributors from here too. So let's do that instead, rather than using the spaghetti solution. And I can build more of these. I can build several more, so let's go ahead and do that. So with that in mind, what I can do here, very straightforwardly, we're going to build an additional sorter, or splitter, I should say. I need some additional storage as well, so we'll get that built. Looks like maybe I don't need to build that many of these right now, because I'd rather have the storage first. So let's queue those back up. That's good enough. All right, and here we will place... Nice, gravity matrix has been researched. So that's one more means to produce a warp cube, or a warp core. Not that we'll be using those. I can't remember the last time I used gravity matrices to produce warp cores, if ever, but it's possible. You can do it. It's an option that the game gives you because the game is nice and gives players options, which is fantastic. Where the hecking heck are the resource buildings that I just... Oh, there they are. Okay. I saw the number change, and that's how I knew. And let's get those bots placed. Oh, wait, no. Oh, that's already taken care of. Perfect. All right, so we want to request from other distributors, and they're going to get that resource and bring it in here. So this will be pretty easy. It's just a matter of doing this. It's the next resource that's going to be a bit of a pain. Really great to see that working so smoothly. How's our power situation, though? Oh, wow. It's fantastic. Utterly fantastic. That's good to see. How's the energetic graphite situation? You can tell it's not backed up at all. We still have several full storages worth, which is good to see. So what that probably means is the export hub is already full. So we might need to burn more in order to really stay ahead of our surplus in energetic graphite. But we'll deal with that when the time comes. Let's now take a look at what is required for frame materials, which this is a key component in the actual Dyson Sphere construction process, which we haven't really worked on yet. So we need refined sulfur, which has a different name. What is it specifically? High purity silicon, not sulfur, silicon. We need high purity silicon, we need carbon nanotubes, and we need titanium alloy. A couple of those resources are already in a pretty convenient place. We have titanium alloy here, and we are able to ship it, which is good. So let's go ahead and set you to distribute to other distributors, because we'll probably be using that. All right, so then the other question is carbon nanotubes. How are we doing over here, by the way? It looks like this production line is nice and full at this point. Maybe a little bit slow on the plane filters, so some proliferation might be in order. But overall, it seems like we have a good... oh yes, nice. We have a good amount of quantum chips, which is lovely to see. That will help with the production of gravity matrices, because we need those for gravity matrices, but it's not quite time to get those going just yet. Still have plenty of research projects coming up that are going to rely on purple cubes. So, carbon nanotubes. Let's take a look at that. I need to kind of remind myself where this apparatus is taking everything. So we have a planetary station here that is supplying it, but is it being sent anywhere, really? I mean, it clearly is, because this storage is slowly emptying out. So it's going somewhere, and I'll probably need to produce more carbon nanotubes for that very reason. There's a special resource which will help me do that, by the way. Love that. I think the carbon nanotubes are coming here. No? Where are they being transported? Here? No. Here. Yes. That's right. They're being brought here for the purposes of... and there's plenty of them, but they're being brought here for the purposes of this proliferator paint. So I probably just need to have... yeah, this is a pretty easy solution. Here's what I'm going to do. This one is going to be set to half capacity. And then I'm going to establish carbon nanotubes as an import here as well. Easy peasy. We need to demand carbon nanotubes, and they'll go and grab those. So, we need high purity silicon. We need carbon nanotubes, which we now have very close by. And we need the titanium alloy, which we can have very close by using these guys. So that pretty much settles it, actually. That was a lot faster than I thought. Okay. I do want to have a lot more room for this. This is going to be a little bit more intense, because this is a good that we will need a lot of. So I'm going to go a little bit more crazy with the apparatus for these. I just don't want to go too far from where I'm doing everything else here. I know what I'll do. Let's delete this here for a moment. Delete that. Delete that. And we're just going to do a little bit more movement of this line. No, stop it. I did not want you to actually connect. I was trying to do a different line there. There we go. I just want to make sure that that is possible, and it is. So now we'll take you back over here. Actually, I'll do you one better. Let's just go around it, like so. All right, that gives me a little bit more room to work with. I don't know that I'll necessarily build it in that exact space, but that just gives me the comfort, honestly. All right, let's completely flatten out this area because we're going to be using it. Okay. So, the production of these goods, again, requires high purity silicon, which we actually don't have. I have them set up to import here, or Do I? Wait a minute. It is being imported, right? It has to be. I'm so confused. Am I not importing hyper? I'm not. Oh my god, I'm not. It just hit me. I'm not importing high purity silicon. Hello. Hello. Hang on. Can I set this to remote demand? Is there already... There's not an export set up for it at all. Are you freaking kidding me? Okay. Welp. Let's go to Alpha Andromedae 2. Because that's kind of important. Wow. Unexpected turn of events. I'll tell you what, we are at about the 25-minute mark here with this episode. Let's see where Alpha Andromedae 4 is. There it is. Look at that. I love the ships in motion. It never gets old seeing that. We are at about the 25-minute mark, so this is a good stopping point since I'm headed over to Alpha Andromedae 4 for this episode. In the next one, we will continue working on the production of frame materials, and this will be mass production. We're going to be dealing with probably at least 10 assemblers working to build frame material out of the gate. So we will definitely have the ability near the very beginning of the next episode to have satellite substations. And we will build those everywhere we possibly can, but then we will continue to work on just automating the construction of all of these various buildings, particularly the assemblers and the smelters, so that we can have just copious amounts of them ready for us whenever we are establishing a new outpost, because we're going to be establishing plenty of new outposts, and soon. So lots to do. Going to be doing it in relatively rapid fashion. Not only are resources getting more and more complex, that was a hard landing, as the series progresses, but the rate at which we are able to establish new bases, you're probably noticing by now, is getting more and more rapid, which is awesome. So, I'm going to be setting up some exports here momentarily for all of this silicon, because we have plenty, and then I might need to make sure that that situation remains. Because right now, there's still plenty of silicon ore to be mined here, but I want to make sure we don't have a shortage anytime soon once it starts being exported. So I will take a look at that literally as the next episode begins. Thank you so much for watching this one. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. If it's not your first time or even your second, look for the join button to access unique emotes, badges, and other perks. New episodes are coming out every day at noon U.S. Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time.